Everybody keeps saying it. Kirby Smart has an Alabama problem. Let's talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nick Frazier, and welcome to Water Cooler Talk Sports. If this is your first time here around the water cooler, man, we thank you so much. We appreciate you so much for coming around and joining us. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. If this is your first time, hit the subscribe button. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2025. So if you can, please hit that subscribe button to help us get there. If you are a returning viewer, returning visitor here at Water Cooler Talk Sports, you've watched us for the 50th, for the 10th, for the 100th, for the second, for the third, for the 18th time, however many times you watched us, please like the video, share the video, comment on the video. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We will greatly appreciate it here, and your presence is greatly appreciated. Let's go ahead and let's get into the topic for today. Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs will take on Kalen DeBoer and the Alabama Crimson Tide tomorrow in the next edition of the SEC Championship game. Now, if you don't know, since 2010, there have been, what is this? This will be 15 since 2010, because this will be the 15th game played since then. So 14 games played since 2010. And in those 14 years, there have been 4 different SEC champions. Auburn in 2010, Alabama in multiple years, LSU in 2019, and Georgia. The Georgia Bulldogs have won a couple of times, 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. Other teams that have participated in the SEC championship game, you've had Florida, who's been there 3 times since 2010. You've had LSU, who's been there 3 times since 2010. Missouri has been there twice since 2010. Auburn has been there twice since 2010. And Texas just got into the conference last year, and they made it to the SEC championship game in their inaugural year in the SEC. So those have been the teams that have participated in the SEC championship game since 2010. Oh, excuse me. South Carolina as well. Can't forget about South Carolina. They were there as well. Auburn beat them in 2010. But the trophy has kind of been going back and forth between Alabama and Georgia. Alabama and Georgia have kind of been moving this trophy back and forth. And we're going to see another installment of this Alabama-Georgia rivalry in this game on tomorrow. That's what we're going to see. That's not the premise of this show. The premise of the show is what I stated earlier as a tease. Kirby Smart has an Alabama problem. That's what he has. Kirby Smart is 1-7 against the Alabama Crimson Tide since he has become the head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, for those of you who are new to SEC football, Kirby Smart was the defensive coordinator at Alabama up until 2015. Ended up taking a job at his alma mater, Georgia. His first season was the 2016 season. Won 8 games there, and the rest is history. Made it to the national championship game his second season, and from there you've seen what Georgia has become. But the thorn that has been in Kirby Smart's side and Georgia football side that he seemed to can't overcome. He's overcome it once, but consistently overcome is beating Alabama. Let's just go back in recent memory. Last year, the 24th season, Kalen DeBoer's first year at Alabama, Georgia travels to Tuscaloosa to play the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama comes out in that game hot. If I'm not mistaken, I think Alabama got up 28-0 on Georgia in that game. Georgia fought back. Georgia came back and made it a game. But a game-ending interception in the end zone from Alabama sealed that game. Quailed Georgia's comeback. Let's move forward to this year. Alabama travels to Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia. Everybody's like, all right, here it is. Here we go. Georgia's going to get this W. Well, you saw what happened. Alabama goes in. They get up 24-10 on Georgia. 24 was 24. I can't remember. It was 24 something. It was up on Georgia. It was up by a large amount on Georgia football. 24-14, maybe. I think what it was. And they beat Georgia at home. Ended a 30-some game winning streak for Georgia at home between the hedges. Alabama went in there and did that. Kirby Smart has an opportunity right now to get his second win in 9 tries. Tomorrow will be his 9th try against Alabama, and he has an opportunity to get his second win. Well, where did he get his first win from? He got his first one in the national championship game in 2021 against Alabama. Excuse me, 2022. He got the national championship. Was 21, 22, one of them days. My dates are mixed up in my head. But he got his win against Alabama in the national championship game against Nick Saban of all people. You see where he got it at? That's where he got it. You look at this and you ask the question, can he get it done? You've seen Kirby slay everyone. You've seen him come out here and beat other teams and powerhouse teams. You've seen him make back-to-back national championship appearances and win them. You've seen him have deep playoff runs. You've seen him be a consistent 9-10 win, 9-10, 11 win guy at Georgia. You've seen that. But the one thing that he can't do consistently, that he consistently cannot do, is beat Alabama. A lot of people was like, well, is it a Saban problem? Can he not beat Saban at Alabama? Well, he did beat Saban. He beat him in the national championship game, even though that same year they played in the SEC championship and Alabama beat them in the SEC championship game. But he did beat Saban. Everybody was like, all right, so it may not be a Saban problem, but Saban still has the upper hand against him. So maybe he's quelled those fears. Well, he's had 2 shots at the apple against Alabama since then, since Kalen DeBoer has been head coach, and Kalen DeBoer has beat him twice. Will it be a third time for Kalen DeBoer in this game coming up tomorrow? We look at this thing and we say, man, everything can't be perfect. We talk about Kirby as the perfect coach almost. We talk about him as not the greatest, but the best coach on the market in the SEC right now. That's what we talk about him. Probably the best coach in college football. People will put him up there with. We talk about how he has conquered and how he has won so much. He's won 2 national championships at Georgia, back-to-back, by the way. He's won 3 SEC championship games. He's 3-5 in SEC championship games since 2016. 3-5. So he's doing the work to get to those spots and win those accolades. He's had he's had, award winners and things, stuff like that. He's had quarterbacks. He's turned quarterbacks that were guys that you didn't really think were going to be those type guys and has turned them into household names. Stetson Bennett. You're doing it with Gunnar Stockton now. He had Jacob Eason there. But the question is, can he consistently? Here's the only blemish. Can he consistently beat Alabama? Is what he helped build at Alabama so dynamic that he can't even penetrate it? Why this game matters? Why does it matter? This game matters, in my opinion, for him because, you've won those games. You've won the SEC championships. You've been a 9-10, 9-win, 10-win, 11-win coach. You have the accolades. You've been coach of the year. You seem to have job stability there. You have the recruiting classes. You have the talent. You seem to be able to adjust on the fly when you play these games. But the thing of the matter is that the one blemish that you have is you're 1-7 against Alabama since becoming the head coach at Georgia. That's what you are. I mean, let's get it real. He has a losing record in the SEC championship games, but guess what? He's been there more than other coaches. He has 3 wins, even though he's been there 8 times. He only has 3 wins out of the 8 times he's been there. He has 3 of them. If my math serves me correctly. I have to fact check that for me. Yeah, 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Has the opportunity to get a 4th one. So we sit back and we look at Kirby and we ask the question, can he get it done? Will he get it done? Can Kirby finally quell this narrative? Can they silence the critics? I mean, because there's really nothing that you can criticize him about in his career. But if we're going to find something, this is it. You can't be Alabama, because Alabama has been the standard. Nick Saban in Alabama has been the standard. And now Kirby is trying to become that standard in the conference. Is what he's trying to become. I would almost say that he needs this win. I would almost say this, because in recent years, yes, there are teams that you judge on how many wins they can win in the regular season, but then there are teams like Georgia, there are the teams like Ohio State, there are the teams like Alabama, there are the teams like the Michigans, there are the teams like the Oregons of the world, to where you judge them by postseason success. Since he's won his last national championship, which was 2022, 2023, did not make the playoffs. Missed the playoffs. I think he only won 9 games that year in that 23 season. 2024, he made the playoffs last year, but got beat by a Notre Dame team who ended up playing for the national championship. And now this year, you see Georgia as an 11-win team and solely in control of getting back in the playoffs and back in the SEC title game as well. He did win the SEC title last year against Texas, a 22-19 game. He did win that. But like I said, these teams that I mentioned earlier, they're judged by their postseason successes. It's almost like if they win 10, 11 games, it's almost like, okay, but what you going to do in the postseason? Are you winning the national championship? Are you winning the SEC championship? Are you still there? Are you still relevant? Because that's just the expectation that those programs have. But on the way to that, people in the media, people like me that are fans of the sport, we find ways. We have to find narrative to kind of see how can these guys get motivated. This is a motivation factor for him. You're 1-7 against Alabama in the last 8 meetings. You've only beat them 1 time. Yes, you say you are the big dog now, but against the standard, we're not seeing that. Can you beat them? Can you conquer them? I don't know how much one win would help, but beating them in the SEC championship game would go a long way to quell those fears and kind of silence those talking and that noise in the ear. And then in upcoming meetings with Alabama, doing it again and doing it again and doing it again and beating that Alabama brand that you helped build. I think that is what's going to help put him and solidify Kirby Smart in Georgia as the top dog in the conference. Because as long as Alabama still has the upper hand against him, there's still going to be that, but you didn't beat Bama, though. People are still going to say that. People are still going to have that question mark behind their head. Yeah, you won that, man. Yeah, you did that. But you didn't beat Bama, though. It's just the obsession that we have with being perfect. And there's always going to be that question. But you didn't beat Bama, though.